Hey everybody, good morning. It's Jamie, and it's Wednesday morning, and I'm really excited because I don't know how it took so long to have my friend Carmen join us today on our coffee, which I don't have any coffee. Do you have any coffee, Carmen?
No, I'm drinking water in my coffee cup today.
I know. I haven't moved into caffeine quite yet, but normally we talk about drinking coffee.
Yes,
I talk about
yes.
drinking coffee, but that's all right. We're going to skip the coffee. So, listen, this is our 15 minutes that we go on and we just spend some time together. I've talked to a lot of the folks that watch, and whether
Mhm.
they do it live or they do it later, and everyone just says it like this is a nice 15 minutes that they can get some hope,
Right.
and then they can take a break from the chaos of whatever's happening.
Yeah.
So on that
Yeah.
note, Carmen, you're all about hope.
I
And
am.
would you like to please introduce yourself? I can't do a good enough job to talk about what you are, who you are, what you bring to the industry. Will you give a brief history as to who you are and
Sure. So,
all the glories?
so my name is Carmen Rustenbeck. I'm the founder and CEO of International Boarding and Pet Services Association. I came into this industry in 2004 by accident. My husband had retired from the military after 23 years. I've lived in 2 countries and moved 18 times in those 23 years. And
Wait, you say you moved 18. I don't think I knew that about you. You moved 18.
yeah, 18 times. Yeah. Packed up my bags and moved.
You
So
had a
because
child. You had a child, right?
with a child, yes, yes. So every time we moved, my career path started over. So you can imagine the kind of jobs I've had in the past. But anyway, I
No,
had, I'm sorry.
I didn't know this. How did I not know?
I know, right? Right. So, my when we finally retired, my husband got his first civilian job. It moved us to Colorado Springs. I was once again looking for something to do in life work. I had been a financial counselor to the Air Force before that. So now I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? So I took on some temp jobs and I ended up at an association for pet boarding facilities and fell in love with the industry, with the small business owners. They had, because it was different than other small business owners. They had a compassion for the pets in their care. They had a desire to do best practices. They had the desire to make sure that the pets were safe. And when I came in, there was still some question about doggy daycare. And there was still some questions about whether pet sitting was a viable way to take care of business. Well, of course, that's years ago. Now we know, right? We know that doggy daycares do work. We know that pet sitting can be a very profitable business and you can make it work. And then so eventually I thought that association went away and I thought, we really need to continue this idea of supporting this industry and helping this industry move forward. So that's how IBPSA came to be. I cashed out my retirement, started the association, and this March of 2020 was our 10th anniversary.
I don't think I knew that either. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So
Congratulations.
this is how we were.
So how many members? So your members include everyone from the pet services. So everything from
Right. We accept anybody who's providing care for pets as our members. We're focused mainly on pet boarding and daycare, but as far as that piece is concerned, but as we have grown as an industry, we realized that our focus was really on the small business owner and the life cycle of the small business from beginning to end and all the ups and downs that happens. And part of that down being COVID-19, right? So
the cool down thing you mentioned. So this whole in the idea of there being down, you and I talked about what it would be to have you come on and hang out in the morning with us. And obviously, there's a wide range of topics and a wide range of areas to focus in and problems to solve,
right.
conversations to have,
Mm-hmm.
things to think about, plans to be made, etc. But I think, and you and I talked about this, I think that one thing that our subscribers and our Fetch Find folks would like to know or what they think about is what is the future? Truly, what is the future? And
Right.
we don't have a crystal ball. I don't have a crystal ball. No one has a
Right.
crystal ball. But you said in the email leading up to today that things are not all that bad. And there's a lot of positivity and a lot of things happening right now. Everyone's very much, including myself, everyone's very much, heads down, doing their thing,
Right.
working in their business and on as well.
Right. Right.
Like what are some of the ideas that you have seen that are happening in the industry? Because you're obviously very much tied into. I mean, you are at the front line, knowing what people are up to. What are some things that you can share that give people that other people are doing that you can bring to everybody to give them hope, ideas, instill some belief that things are moving in the right direction.
So what I would like to say to everybody is that I would like to change our language a little bit and start looking for positive things that are happening within your family, within your own business, within your community. Also, I think we should start considering ourselves not in a new normal, but in a transitional phase. Because 2 months ago, 3 months ago, man, we were on the downhill. We were closing. We weren't even sure if we could be considered essential services. We were trying to figure out how to get our mayors and our governors to understand that we were taking care of pets for frontline workers. So we were at that point. Now we're on this other side where some of us are starting to open our doors and we're starting to get our clients back. We've learned some things since over these past 3 months. We've learned some things about ourselves, about our family, and about our businesses. And we've had to make some hard decisions and have some hard discussions with ourselves. But out of that, there's been a lot of creativity. So let's talk about some of that creativity. We learned that we could take enrichment to our client. So what we started doing was putting enrichment packages together, going to our clients and dropping it off at their front door. And for a rental price, they got that toy, they got the instructions and the treat to help their pet have an enrichment time. And then at the end of the week, we give them a new enrichment toy for their pet.
So literally it's a dog toy rental service that you are running?
Yes.
So like Kongs and ramps and things like
that. Whatever that enrichment toy is, yes. So, and some are even homemade, but you're taking ideas to the client. The client's implementing that. They're taking pictures. They're sending those photos back. You're posting them on Facebook with their permission. You're using that as look what our clients are doing. Okay, so now we're teaching the clients how to interact better with their pets, right? So it's no longer happening in our facility, but we're taking our knowledge from our experience as pet care service providers directly to our client.
So are we seeing, have you heard anything around with people who are, so how many people have you heard doing this, just in general? 5, 10, 20?
I probably had 15 to 20 facilities that are doing it.
Right, so I'm really curious if anyone in Fetch Finds doing that, because this is the first time I've ever heard of this, and it's obviously a brilliant idea, and it's obviously it's easy to build that offering.
Right.
What's the typical price point for that? Do you know what people are charging?
No, I don't. It's because it's been in other countries. It would be sort of hard also to discuss really what that price point would be. But I would say you could probably pretty much figure out how much it's going to cost you if you have to replace the toy and, treats, whatever other things you're doing to provide that. I would make sure that you at least cover your initial cost.
So they're really an enrichment package. So you're talking about it could be food toys, food treats, homemade DIY games.
Right.
So it's really, honestly, this is brilliant. It's the first time I'm hearing this. I love this idea so much. I feel like we should put together a little course about this for everybody.
Yeah,
I think it's smart. It's really smart.
It is. So then another thing is if some of you have dog training skills, basic dog training skills. Okay, so let's think about that. What is the one thing that has shocked us during this time of transition? People who've now been stuck at home have gone out to start adopting pets. So for the first time, we have almost a shortage of adoptable pets, almost, depending on where you are in the country, right? So now they need to know how to take care of those pets. What if you offered on your Facebook Live Dog Training 100? We're going to teach the basics. Okay, we're going to teach the sit. This is the proper way to teach the sit. You put that out there for your clients. They successfully teach the pet to sit. You charge them to be part of your Facebook group that's ongoing. They send in the video.
Hold on for 1 second. Now, this is actually different. Now, this is, again, the first time I'm hearing this. So you're saying that it's not just going to someone's house or doing a one-on-one. You're saying creating a dog training collection, so a collective, or so it's almost like so they're subscribing to your Facebook Live. So once a day or once a week, you're going on. Okay, everybody, we're going to do 45 minutes. I'm going to teach everyone how to sit, and everyone's on the Facebook Live doing it.
Right.
All right. Yeah, this is a totally new idea.
So now
the ingenuity.
Yes, the creativity. Now, this didn't come from IBPSA, folks. I have been doing these once a week things around the country in Canada. I still have to go to New Zealand and Australia and England yet to do this, but we've been doing this via video, saying, what are you doing in your facility and what is working and how did that work? And so these are things that came from within the industry. So this is not IBPSA being creative. This is you all being creative. This is why I think that we should not be focused on the bad stuff. We should be focused on the positive things that are coming out and grab onto them and include them in our businesses. And that makes us successful and keeps us moving through this transitional time. So anything that you could do in your facility that you could teach somebody else to do, figure out if you could teach that via the internet. And if so, what does that look like?
Let me ask you this. So practically speaking, so now, so these ideas, by the way, are tremendous. And these are all things that you're sharing with me live right now. We didn't discuss any of this beforehand. A lot of these ideas are really, really interesting. I think that this is exactly why we're doing these Facebook Lives. But that's fine because everyone's looking for new things and new ideas and to be inspired and to feel connected to the industry because it is, again, it's a very trying time for a lot of people for all different reasons.
Right.
That said, so for folks that are going to start offering some of these services, whether it's the enrichment packages, the rental enrichment packages, Facebook online training, including your clients, when things start to get back online and now business is at 50% and you're busy and you're training your new staff and you're still dealing with, still dealing with some of the setbacks that occurred, do you think that it's, and I know it's going to depend, it's always going to depend, but do you think it's best to continue with those services that you started out during this COVID period? Or do you think that you should wean away from those and start to attract those folks to come back into the facilities?
I think that naturally, as they are getting on with their lives, they will adapt to, I think what happens is that actually brings more clientele into your facility or to your pet sitting business or your grooming business, whatever your business is. I think it attracts people that didn't know anything about you because now you're doing it online.
So you think, so what you're saying is if you're going to build that sort of additional service to attract, it's not just something you did because it was a stopgap, it's something that you're building as a part of your menu of services.
Yes.
So you always offer, in this case, enrichment.
Yeah, you're going to try to continue that, right? And I think this is really where you as a business owner get to think about, okay, I can't be in all places at all times. So who on my staff could take over this enrichment piece? And you decide that by who on your staff is your best enrichment creativity mind. You put them on it and say, okay, we've got this creativity thing. Is this enrichment piece? Can we take it still out of our business, put it at their door? Does that work? And if so, what does that look like? And then dog training. Do you have a dog trainer? Man, this is easy for them, right? Whatever they're doing in the facility, they can record and make it available to maybe homebound people.
So let me ask you this. So these are all obviously as you're going around, will you make sure you let everyone know in our comments underneath this broadcast what your next what your next virtual stop is? And because I know that you guys are doing them regionally, where you're going in and you're having conversations. I think some of our folks would like to know more about that. But that said, are you going to build in some of these ideas into the conference? Which I know is
we are. Yes,
so
we are.
I have Orlando, Florida on here. I know I know things are changing and I didn't know.
Yes, yeah.
So I know that the things are being updated. So in the conference, and it's now going to be virtual, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is going to be virtual.
Will you have a portion of the conference that's going to focus on the new, not just the new normal or whatever the terminology is, but some of these ideas and concepts about
Yes.
reframing and reshaping your offerings to be able to move with the ebb and flow of what may or may not happen? Will that be a part of? Okay.
Yes, it will be. Yeah, we're going to make sure that everything at the conference this year will help the small business owner continue to bring in revenue, if at all possible, and sort of go through the challenges, because we know, we're hoping that we all obey the rules, 6-foot distancing, keep our mask on, and that will allow us to continue to have a gradual up in the economy. But there's a possibility that we could have another down. So now we need to learn the lessons of our last down to implement if we need to for a new down that we hope doesn't come. So we may be on a gradual up, but I think a gradual up is the best way to go. And that helps us as business owners, I believe, establish where we are going to be financially in 6, 8, 10, 12, 18 months from now. And understanding that every month we learn something new about the virus, and we learn something new about a better way to protect ourselves, our employees, and the pets in our care. And so we will always be in this transitional phase until immunization is found. And then, man, look at all the stuff we've learned.
So I was saying you were frozen for a second. So while you were frozen, I was going to draw attention to this is the link, petcareconference.com, to get information about the upcoming.
Right.
And also, speaking of things changing, and again, not at all rehearsed, but because that's where the COVID course comes in.
Right.
As a differentiator about our very inexpensive Forever Living course, which is that we'll update it all the time, and we'll get insights from Carmen, and we'll get insights from other experts in the industry as well, what's happening on the human side, and we'll always put that into the content, so into the badge, so everyone knows what's going on. And so actually, even from today, I feel like we've gleaned some things to consider putting into the COVID course. I know Melanie, who's our instructional designer, I know that she's listening and watching right now. So Melanie, we can get a section in our COVID course around exactly this, enrichment ideas for clients and for people, or for businesses to consider. All right, see, you just inspired a whole new section. Oh, look at this. Oh, there we go. So look at this. Melanie is so good. She actually just put a link to the COVID badge. All right. Well, we are at time. Will you come back on and talk?
I will.
Maybe we can, what I'd like to do, maybe you and I can talk about, I'm doing this live right now, so just sort of you and I chime, but I love to think about doing like a series together where maybe we do every other week, or we do something where we're thinking and we're focusing on a specific thing regarding everything happening. So Melanie just said she's all over it. So maybe instructional design, I love it. So maybe we can think about sort of creating some topics that you're learning about out there that we can bring to mind, and that also things that we know that our folks are trying to solve for, that I know you have some insight into. So let's talk about that, because you're awesome, and I'm embarrassed that we haven't done this sooner. I don't know. I feel like every day becomes like such a, I don't know, it's amazing. Anyway, I'm really glad that you're here, and I'm really glad that we're together.
Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed this. Can't wait to do it again.
No, I love our partnership. I love our relationship. I adore you and your organization, and I'm just so excited.
Thanks, Jamie. You guys are awesome. And I look forward to visiting with you and Fetch Find Group again. Hi, y'all. Don't be strangers. Come visit me over at IBPSA.
We can. We'll be there. We'll have to. And then when we go, oh wait, hold on. Everyone's on. There's some questions. Christy, it won't be in Orlando. It's going to be. It'll be here, Christy. It'll be actually virtual. So we're not going to do. IBPSA is not going to do an in-person conference for all of the others.
Yeah, with the restrictions in the hotel, it was just too difficult for us to be able to do a viable conference. So we had to move to virtual, and we just literally fixed that contract on Monday afternoon. So we've been working on it for 2 months. So I was thrilled that we could go virtual. So now we got to work on the virtual thing. Same time frame though, exact same dates, just virtual.
All right, so same dates, just virtual, and those dates are
28th, 29th, and October 1st, I believe.
Yep. Okay. And
29th.
Okay, great. And then you're welcome, Christy. And I just got a notification about this. If you're an IBPSA member, you can use $15 off the COVID course. All right. Thanks, Melanie, for being, she's like our off-camera
I
producer.
know, she's brilliant.
All right, Carmen, we'll talk really soon. Everybody
Okay.
else, have a really good day. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow we have an employment attorney, Neil Stern, coming on. I know he's spoken to some NAPS members in the past.
Yeah.
He'll be on tomorrow with me talking about 1099 versus W-2. And also we're going to talk about some particular things around protecting yourself with your employees, having agreements in place around the virus and what might happen if the virus comes to your facility. So we'll
Fantastic.
we'll have some good discussions legally tomorrow about that. Feel free to tune in, Carmen. All right, everybody, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Love you guys. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.